Grabe, hindi ito basta-basta balita. Isang oras lang ang nakalipas, kumpirmado na umatake ang Amerika sa isa sa mga pinakaimportanteng nuclear facility ng Iran. At alam mo kung saan unang lumabas ang balita? Sa Twitter mismo. Ito ang mismong tweet ni President Trump. Matagumpay na nating naisagawa ang operasyon laban sa 3 nuclear sites sa Iran, Polo, Natanz at Isfahan. Kumpleto ang payload ng bomba na ibinagsak sa pangunahing target na foro. Ligtas nang nakalabas ng Iranian airspace ang lahat ng eroplano. Isang malaking tagumpay para sa ating mga sundalong Amerikano. Walang ibang military sa mundo ang makakagawa nito. Ngayon panahon na para sa kapayapaan. Pagkatapos ng tweet na yon parang huminto ang mundo. Walang kahit sino ang nakahula na mangyayari ito. Lalo pat kaninang umaga lang, nakita pa ang mga B-2 stealth bombers na lumilipad mula sa Whiteman Air Base sa Missouri patungo sa Guam. Ayon sa White House noon, repositioning lang daw ito. Parang paghahanda lang kung sakali. Pero ngayon malinaw na. Isang malaking palabas lang pala yon para linlangin ng publiko. Ang totoo, papunta na pala sila sa misyon. At pagkatapos ng tweet ni Trump, nag-retweet pa siya ng isang account na nagsabing, "Foro is gone." Para sa mga hindi pamilyar, ang foro ay isa sa pinakaimportanteng pasilidad ng Iran kung saan ginagawa ang uranium enrichment. Ito ang sentro ng nuclear program nila. Ang problema, nasa ilalim ito ng lupa. Mahigit 300 talampakan ang lalim. Dahil dito, kahit gustuhin man ng Israel na atakehin ito, kulang sila sa kakayahang gawin yon. Wala silang sapat na bunker buster bombs para tumagos sa ganung lalim. Kaya kailangan talaga ang tulong ng Amerika. At ayun na nga, pumasok na ang US. May eksaktong detalye pa raw kung ilang bomba ang ginamit, anong ruta ang dinaanan, at gaano kalaki ang pinsalang naiwan ng pag-atake. Pero bago tayo tumuloy sa mga yon, huwag kalimutang i-like ang video at mag-subscribe kung gusto mong updated palagi sa ganitong klaseng balita. Ngayon, balikan natin ang mga detalye ng mismong operasyon.
President Trump gave the Iranians to come to the table. 5 rounds of conversations, most of them taking place in Oman, with Steve Witkoff, President Trump's Middle East envoy, other top American officials meeting directly and indirectly with their Iranian counterparts, but the Iranians did not want to finish a deal. And ultimately, the decision was made by Israel to launch this operation that has led to a war developing between the two countries. And then again, tonight, the Americans getting directly involved, launching these strikes with those bombers over Iranian territory. We will certainly learn more information as daylight comes tomorrow in the region. But the bottom line here is that a decision was made that will change the reality of the current war between Israel and Iran, and possibly create a scenario where the Iranians really have no other option than to give in, because the president has hit them so hard with these strikes, and the Israelis are continuing to take out their top military leadership, that the country is in a state of disarray. And so the bottom line here is that these strikes tonight show not only solidarity with the American ally in the Middle East, Israel, but also they show that the region is at a crossroads here. There are clear decisions that will have to be made by the regime officials that are still alive, and by the country's supreme leader and the country's president, Masoud Pezeshkian. And so certainly more hours ahead, we'll learn that information. But again, the bottom line tonight is that the decision was made by President Trump to take out, in effect, these nuclear facilities that the Iranians were using to enrich uranium closer and closer to weapons-grade material. You might remember back during the nuclear deal that President Trump pulled out of in 2018, the Iranians were enriching uranium at 3.67%. According to the International Atomic Energy Agency, they were enriching uranium close to 60% purity, getting very, very close to a weapons-grade purity, which would give them the component that they would need to create a nuclear weapon. And so this is a historic moment in the Middle East tonight, and again, an opportunity for the region, as the president laid out in his statement, for peace in the future, because this is a region that understands peace through strength.
Pagkatapos ng nakakagulat na tweet ni Pangulong Trump, dumagsa pa ang kumpirmasyon mula sa mga opisyal ng Amerika, at dito na naging mas malinaw ang buong operasyon. Tulad ng inaasahan ng marami, mga B-2 stealth bombers ng Amerika ang ginamit sa pagsalakay. At hindi lang basta haka-haka ito, kumpirmado ang bilang. 6 na B-2 ang umalis mula Missouri kaninang umaga. Sa simula, akala ng lahat na papunta sila sa Guam. Pero hindi pala, diretso silang lumipad papuntang Iran para sa aktwal na operasyon. At ito pa ang mas matindi, may impormasyon na 6 na bunker buster bombs ang inihulog sa nuclear facility ng Fordo. Isa itong matinding hakbang dahil ang Fordo ang pinakamahirap pasukin. Nasa ilalim ito ng lupa ng mahigit 300 talampakan. May ilang ulat na nagsasabing kaya raw magdala ng hanggang 3 bomba ang isang B-2. Pero ayon sa mga lumang dokumento, 2 lang daw talaga. Maaaring may bagong kakayahan lang silang hindi pa iniuulat sa publiko. Bukod dito, gumamit din ng US ng 30 Tomahawk missiles para salakayin ang iba pang nuclear sites sa Iran. Kasabay nito, iniulat din ng Iran na biglang nagkaroon ng matinding jamming sa buong bansa. Hindi gumagana ang radyo, GPS at maging ang mga cellphone. Pero ang nakakagulat, hindi Iran ang may pakana nito. Sa katunayan, ilang oras bago ang pagsalakay, ibinalik ng gobyerno ng Iran ang internet matapos itong isara ng halos 3 araw. Kaya malinaw, ang Amerika ang nagsagawa ng electronic jamming para hadlangan ang komunikasyon habang ginaganap ang operasyon. May isa pang mahalagang bahagi, nakipag-ugnayan ng Amerika sa Israel bago pa man ang operasyon. May mga ulat na ang Israel ang nagtanggal ng ilang air defenses sa timog Iran para matiyak na ligtas ang pagdaan ng mga bomber ng Amerika patungo sa mga target. Ayon sa tala, isinagawa ang aktwal na atake mga alas 7 ng gabi Eastern Time o bandang alas 12:30 ng madaling araw sa Iran. Hindi agad naglabas ng anunsyo si Pangulong Trump. Hinintay muna niyang ligtas na makalabas ng Iranian airspace ang mga eroplano bago niya i-tweet ang operasyon. Pero ang pinaka nakakagulat sa lahat, walang kahit anong leak. Sa loob ng 18 taon ng isang opisyal na nasa Pentagon, ngayon lang daw siya nakakita ng ganitong katahimikan sa buong operasyon. Walang nagsiwalat, walang signal o chat group, wala ni isang impormasyon ang lumabas. Halos blackout ng ilang araw. Sabi nga niya, habang nagsasalita siya mula mismo sa Pentagon, halos walang tao sa mga pasilyo at tanging ang White House lang ang pinanggagalingan ng opisyal na impormasyon. Ayon pa sa ilang flight tracker online, napansin nilang may kakaibang galaw ang mga B-2 nang umalis ito mula Whiteman. Pero kahit nakita ito, wala pa ring nakaamoy na may aktwal na opensiba na pala. At kung mapapansin mo, waning crescent moon lang ang buwan ngayong gabi. Halos wala kang makikita sa kalangitan. Perpekto ang ganitong kondisyon para sa mga stealth bombers. Oo, di sila basta-basta natutunton pero mas epektibo sila sa dilim at wala nang mas madilim pa kaysa sa ganitong gabi. Ang operasyon na ito sa totoo lang, walang ibang bansa sa mundo ang kayang magsagawa. Tanging ang Estados Unidos lang ang may ganitong klaseng teknolohiya, lakas at disiplina para maisakatuparan ang isang high-level coordinated strike sa 3 mahigpit na binabantayang uranium enrichment sites ng Iran nang walang kahit sinong makaalam. At oo, sinabi nga ni Trump kamakailan na in 2 weeks, something big will happen. Pero walang nakaakalang ngayong gabi pala yun mangyayari. Isang tweet lang sa Truth Social at yun na ang simula ng lahat.
Brett, is that this is an operation in the last 18 years since I've been at the Pentagon, I've never seen such operational security. There was nobody speaking about this, any of the preparations. There was a complete lockdown, almost a blackout of information for the last few days. I'm sitting here in the Pentagon right now. I can tell you the hallways are empty, and all of the information is coming right now out of the White House. That is a significant achievement because there were no leaks about the timing. Now, sometimes I think those who, a lot of the flight trackers, the open source intelligence flight trackers, that flight radar did indicate some of when the B-2s took off from Whiteman. But again, nobody really expected that it would take place this evening. If you looked at the moon schedule, you might have had a clue because it was a waning crescent and almost a new moon on the 25th. So it would have been very, very dark over Iran tonight, and you need that in order to bomb. That's the ideal condition for something like a B-2 that is, yes, it's stealth, but it still has to be escorted in case Iran were to put up any planes or there were any opportunities to fire on those B-2s, which are such valuable.
Security here, and the fact that there were obviously some red herrings, and in a world where decisions are made and the world digests the decision even before it's made because of social media and everyone's watching everywhere, this was a pretty amazing operation. When you start thinking that the president said within 2 weeks, we are 2 days from within 2 weeks, and this happens with a post on Truth Social and no other word really getting out ahead of that is pretty stunning.
At ngayon ito naman ang sinabi ni Trump, pakinggan natin.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
At heto naman ang sinabi ng leader ng Israel matapos ang atake ng Amerika sa Iran.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.